You've seen the video. This is how you make it in the industry. I made this music video for free. You know the feeling. The feeling of inadequacy. The feeling that you're doing something wrong. The feeling that there's this secret that you're not just being told. Well, I'm here to say that if you've come to this video to hear secrets on how to make it in the music industry, you've unfortunately come to the wrong place. No, this video is art focused. I'm going to share some tips and tricks of how to make art that is cost effective, that's fun, and that's creative. I didn't make that up. That just came to my head. Look at me, an artist, a poet. In this video, we are just going to ask one simple question. Can I make a music video for under 100 Great British pounds? In short, yeah, but it's a bit more complicated than that. Hi, I'm Anusha, and if you found this channel, I must believe that you love making art. This video is for artists to help each other out. Artists who are marginalised, who grew up on state benefits like I did, and we want to find ways to make art that's cost effective but creative at the same time. Like I just said, I grew up on state benefits, I grew up on the council estate, I grew up without many resources, but a bit of support, don't get me wrong. And I currently am a disabled black woman who still lives on the council estate, and I still don't have that many resources. Now, let's do some frequently asked questions before we get into the video. First things first, I am a performer at heart, so expect presentation. Second thing is, you might ask why I don't always go for grants or why I don't go completely up for grants. The reason I don't go up for grants wholeheartedly, I do think there is a benefit to them, but a couple of things. One, grants tend to have some really strange benefactors, and always look, because sometimes Zionism can be in there. Just double check before you apply for a grant. Number two is that I do like a list, so excuse me if my lists have lists and lists and lists. Number two is that as disabled people, grants aren't always accessible to us. Even if they say, oh, you can do a video or you can do it differently or an interview, grants take up a lot of our time. As someone with an energy limiting condition, I don't always have time for grants, especially with very tight deadlines, especially grants that demand a certain level of professionalism. Sometimes I can't offer that. And I know that if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you can't too. And number three, this is not going to be the most accessible for everybody. But in this very short series of Can I Do X, Y, and Z, I hope that I can plant some seeds of how to create art that's cost effective. And we can share ideas with each other. We might even connect with each other and help. All I want to do is just offer a different perspective, because I find that a lot of people who create art have a very capitalist mindset, which isn't helpful for people who don't have capital. This video is going to answer the question, can I make a video for under 100 Great British pounds? I'm going to show you how I did it, tell you my timeline, tell you what I did right, tell you what I did wrong. And if I were to do it again, how would I do it differently? Are you ready? This is Slaughter. A song about consent and how we often have to give it up in order to find peace. What I wanted to do is mimic a film that I do adore called Blood and Black Lace. It is a whodunit, a can-be whodunit, which follows the story of a group of aristocrats, and a lot of them women, who are trying to fight to be the most richest, and as this is going on, there's a murderer upon their midst. It's not in English, and the dub is a little bit funky, but it's a fun time. And if you don't watch anything, watch the intro. The start of the film introduces us to our cast of characters. You don't know who the murderer is, and you don't know who the victims are. Each of them are posed and looking just adjacent to the camera, and they are lit colourfully with pinks and blues and reds, sort of showcasing passion, sadness, death, love. And what I love about them is how the actors are just as still as a mannequin. It's almost like you are shown their personality with very little movement, because you are just shown a sort of a still image. I think it's an iconic intro and you should watch it, and that is what inspired the slaughter visualizer. Now that I've shown you the inspiration, shall we do a timeline? It was an 8 a.m. wake up, and I left the house by 9 in order to get to East London by 9:30. However, I went the wrong way, so I got there for 10. That journey cost £3.20. Then obviously I'm not hooking this heavy mannequin back to South London, so I got a taxi back. It was like the cusp of East London to South London, so it wasn't the longest journey. That was around £13.94. That photo shoot, where I hired the mannequin, had the backdrop with stuff I already had. We did a full face of makeup with pink and grey, and I had these lights which I've had for years. Roughly cost £23. Then it was a taxi back. Now this was 7 p.m, and obviously with the football things are expensive, so the taxi back was a bit more expensive. That was like £19.33. Obviously we dropped off the mannequin, said hi to the girl, she's very lovely, and then we got the train back home, and that was around 9 p.m, and that train back was also £3.20. It came up to £62.67. We're near the end of the video, so we need to rate it. We are starting with the 3 E's. The first E is energy. How much energy did this take from me? 10 is, this is so much energy, it ain't worth it. I'm about to go to hospital and I'm about to meet my maker. And 1 is, this was a breeze, this is easy peasy. Now, full disclosure, I have an energy limiting condition, so 1 will never be a rating from me. But I would say that this video shoot took about a 7. Was very energy consuming. I was doing a lot, obviously by myself, carrying Miss Mannequin to and from my house. The trains did not help. The busyness did not help. And I didn't eat throughout the day, which is bad. By the time I got to the end of the video shoot, I was so tired. However, we get to the second E, which is ease. How easy was this? I'm giving this like a 6. Working with a prop was very different. I had to use a lot of different techniques that I wouldn't usually do. It was fun to explore, and I got to be way more creative than I thought I could do. So it meant that I got a video that was quite different for me, and I'm really excited to show you the final product. Now, the last E is execution. How easy was this to execute? Like, what was the final product of all of it? Because it might have been easy to shoot, but if all the videos don't come out well, then, you know, what was the point? Again, 10 is like, it came out all right, it was beautiful, whatever, and 1 was like, this was terrible, this was awful. I'm giving this probably another 7. Another 7. The final project, which obviously you haven't seen yet, but I'm showing you pictures, I'm showing you things and that. I think I was able to create a different scene. Like, it doesn't look like my room, it looks like something a little bit more sinister. I think next time I will probably use more props and make it less 2D to make it more 3D. Maybe it might be renting out some boards and making it look like a room and making it look like somewhere. Or it might mean making this backdrop like a wall and having different aspects on it to kind of give it a bit more life. I don't know, but you tell me, what do you think? I think this project was a success. I am very proud of myself. And full disclosure, I started this because I was pissed at myself. I created a single called Weights, and Weights, the journey of Weights has been very difficult. I was going in with probably even less money than I have now. I was trying to make a music video that was cost effective but still striking. And I think I did that. But it took months. Something that should have taken me maybe a week or two to execute took me about 4 or 5 months. Now, I don't regret it because I've learned so much about video editing and how to shoot myself and how to shoot other things and how to create a linear story. I really learned how to grab people's attention. But at the same time, I burnt out. And you know that as a disabled person, being burnt out is dangerous. So I set out on a mission to do this again, cost effectively, but to have fun.